Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Should You Pull for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. Now this week we're going to be seeing the appearance of the Ultimate Ramuh event, and along with that event we're going to be getting Setzer return with his EX weapon, along with his banner mates in Lenna and Onion Knight. Now we're also going to see a second banner that will also have the other three super synergy characters for Ramuh, so that'll be Sid, Maria and Aiko. But that banner doesn't contain any EX weapons at all, at least as far as I'm aware. So before going into the main event banner, as it were, I wouldn't recommend pulling on this one unless you're really struggling for characters that will do super synergy. But if you're going to pull on that, then you may as well pull on the one that has the EX weapon on it. So honestly, I wouldn't touch that banner with a barge pole. But anyways, going back to Setzer and his EX weapon, if you want to find out more about Setzer, how his kit works, whether like his EX elevates him to a massively huge level, whether he's going to be chaos viable, this, that and the other, then stay tuned and keep on watching. Don't forget to check out all of the social media links in the description box below, including my Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, which I shall leave my schedule for on the right hand side here. I will actually be streaming some Ultimate Ramuh and maybe a few pulls here and there, possibly for Setzer, so if you want to come and check that out, then definitely look at the link in the description box below for that. My Discord channel is also available, and I've actually been getting people to ask me anything, any questions that they want to know about myself, or the channel, or Opera Omnia, or the Final Fantasy TCG, or anything you guys want to know, so I encourage you guys to look at that. Don't forget to check out DissidiaDB.com, as it's the primary resource I use for any Opera Omnia related content, and of course don't forget to check out all of these other content creators for the game, as they appreciate your clicks, likes and subscriptions as much as I do. Now, at least as far as I'm aware, Onion Knight doesn't come back on this banner with his EX weapon, and neither does Lenna. So, like any banner at this point, you're likely not going to be pulling on this banner to grab Onion Knight and Lenna stuff. However, I do think that there is an exception to that rule with Onion Knight if you're planning on grabbing his EX weapon from the EX shop. Now, Onion Knight is nothing particularly special right now. When he got his 60 Awakening in his EX, he became a lot better than meme worthy. He was playable. He got some AoE, a Brave HP attacks, he got some nice little extra, he got some good damage in, and then obviously his EX weapon, if you have it, gives him a nice sort of Brave HP attack with a high turn rate, gives him his full level up of Ninja or Sage, and it changes depending on which mode he's in, and it's a fast recast rate EX, which is always great, but obviously it doesn't come back on this banner. But like I said, if you're going to grab Onion Knight's EX because maybe you have all of the really powerful ones, don't forget to check out my video listing all of the characters for the protagonist for the EX shop on that one. Or if you don't really plan on pulling for Onion Knight's EX when he comes back again with Yuri's banner, then grabbing his bits might not be a bad thing in the end anyway. Again, unfortunately, Lenna won't be returning with her EX weapon this time around, which is a real shame because Lenna is a character I have used so much since she came out, and she's just a wonderful character to have. You know, she's got her Windrake arrow, which is a lovely thing to have. It gives basically ribbon to your entire party, so debuffs no longer affect you. She can limit initial bravery. She's a fantastic defensive support, but without her EX weapon, she is significantly gimped for the higher tier levels of content, so your Cosmos is. She's certainly not going to be chaos viable without her EX weapon. But with her EX weapon, she is actually very good for early chaos. She can still keep up with people even all these months later, because she just gets so much out of all of her stuff. She has a massive brave regen, a massive HP regen. Her Windrake's ward lasts for ages. She gets a brave attack plus. She doesn't have an HP attack plus though, which is sad. And then, having overflow on rapid fire plus, I mean, you take a little while to get to rapid fire plus because you have to use rapid fire, which is just a bravery attack, basically, the first time you use it. But it's honestly just a really nice little kit she has. So even if if you can't get her EX weapon right now, which you won't be able to because it's not on the banner, she's still a nice character to have in 15 and 35 for. She gets an EX plus down the line, so her EX weapon will return eventually. There may be other banners that come out for global exclusive reasons as to why they might bring back a Lenna EX early for whatever reason. In which point, grabbing her kit now is actually kind of nice. So if you are struggling with EX content and you're quite new to the game or anything like that, then this is fantastic as a starting the game, trying to progress as far as you can, consolation prize to Setzer. So now we come to Setzer, and Setzer honestly is probably one of my favourite characters in this game. Not because he's broken, not because he's super powerful or anything like that, but he is like the exemplary character for when I talk about characters who are worth looking at the very least, because their kits are unique or different or do something that no other character can do. Setzer's Freeze Joker, for a start, has a unique debuff on it that lasts for 2 turns that makes it so that your opponents cannot gain bravery for those 2 turns. This is way more powerful than it sounds. Like, if you think that an enemy's charging up an ability that's going to really like smack your party in the face, Freeze Joker will just stop it. Like if they like gain a mass amount of bravery and then do an HP attack that's going to kill one of your party members, Freeze Joker stops it. And then since his level 55 and 60 passives came about, they became even more useful. Like, Setzer was really good without an EX weapon for a really long time, so the fact that he's getting one now is really nice. Freeze Joker's 55 passive makes it so that it's also a bravery battery for your entire party, and it becomes a group attack, so it affects all your opponent's party members, and that's really good. And then Red Card went from being a pretty useless attack to having a delay on it, which is really nice. Now, having the delay is a massive thing. I believe that comes with his 35 CP. You have to forgive me, because I've used Setzer for so long, I forget where the different parts of his abilities come from. So yes, when you've got his 35 CP weapon, Red Card actually delays your opponent by a turn, and we all know how useful delay can be at any point. But you also get a Brave Attack Plus from using Red Card, which is a bit of a weird one. Like, it's a 3-hit Brave Attack, and it does an HP attack if your Bravery is over 80% of your max Bravery, which is kind of good-ish, but honestly it can also mean that it's difficult to not use an HP attack when you just want him not to get broken. So in all honesty, pairing him up with somebody like Warrior of Light, because Warrior of Light's amazing at everything, is a really nice pairing for him. He also does have a slight rework this time around, where he gets All-In changed from raising all of his stats after using all of his abilities, so after he's exhausted everything, to after he's used Freeze Joker 2 times. So this is a much better use of this ability. He doesn't get much in the way of like other reworks, like his abilities themselves aren't reworked, but honestly they don't really need to be. So you might want to consider changing your artifact build-up for him to include All-In 2-star, as well as just giving him attack and max bravery, because that's all he really realistically wants. And then he also gets a party buff for max bravery and attack, which is fantastic. And then his level 65 ability is all boost up, which is raises max bravery for 3 turns on all party members. It has a slightly longer duration if you want the Bloomstone for him. It's quite a simplistic like a level 65 ability, but honestly the fact that it's party wide for max bravery, it's not bad, and it gives him more uses, like which will play into the fast recast rate of his EX ability, which we'll now talk about now. So Setzer's Prismatic Flash attack is his EX weapon giving ability, which is an AoE Brave HP attack that raises all party members' bravery, so it's a battery, by the maximum amount of the largest amount of bravery your highest braveried party member currently has, so that everyone kind of gains the bravery that they had. So it's actually really useful, and it does include himself, which is great. It's a even damage HP attack. It extends the duration of any buffs he currently has by a turn, and it grants Blackjack, which is a framed buff for 6 turns that raises your party's attack and max bravery, and then does a little bit more for himself. I think it's 20% max bravery and attack for your party, 40% for Setzer, and that's actually really useful. Like, he already has 2 party auras in his kit. His 58 and his 68 passives are party auras. He gets max bravery to everybody by using Freeze Joker as well, which is nice. You've got more buffs from All-In if you've already used Freeze Joker a couple of times, and then now you've got more of a party aura. So he actually he's quite significant just by existing. And then he also, when you limit break it, it gives something that Setzer desperately needs, which is an HP attack plus. And quite honestly, most characters need an HP attack plus at this point going forward. So the fact that he gets one is really nice. And its HP attack plus raises his bravery before, which is scaled off of his attack before doing the HP attack, but he also gets bravery based on the HP damage he dealt. So this is, in a way, a slightly easier way of stopping yourself from getting broken than using your brave attack plus, because you're at least going to have some bravery by the end of it. And if you've already got loads of bravery, you'd rather use the HP attack plus and get some of it back than use the brave attack plus and then maybe get a little bit more damage, but you're probably leaking some of it, and then getting an HP attack and leaving yourself with no bravery. So there's that to bear in mind. Honestly, one of my favourite things about Setzer is how good he is at farming things. His Freeze Joker has one of the shortest animation durations out of any attack in the game. It's an AoE Brave HP attack. If you're farming artifacts, or you're farming crystals, or you're farming anything, or you're going through story and you just need to quickly get through as much of the trash waves as possible, Freeze Joker for 3-wave fights is incredibly good because it speeds it up like nobody's business. The issue that Setzer had until now is that Freeze Joker wasn't the most powerful attack in the game. It was decent. His max bravery wasn't amazing. His attack wasn't incredible, but he had all of the techie stuff there. And the main thing that you're actually getting, as much as Prismatic Flash is actually quite a nice attack, and the fast recast rate is very similar to your Bart's, to your Quistis. In fact, I like to think of Prismatic Flash as a minor or an evolution of Bart's Ianuki EX attack. It's very similar in nature to that, but you get the Party Aura on top of it, which is great, and it's AoE. But you also he just makes for a really fast farming unit, and I love that. And his techie plays, like the freeze, is honestly amazing. The fact that red card has the delay on it is amazing. If you have Quistis and Setzer in a party, you've got EXs flying everywhere, you have delays for days. It's just a really nice kit to have. Is he mandatory? No, not really. He's not going to be amazing for Chaos, at least initially. We'll talk about his EX Plus in a moment, but he's good for end game content. But what he really excels at is actually being a friend unit. There's a lot of people even now in JP that set up Setzers as their friend unit because the freeze is invaluable. Having the just being able to go Freeze Joker, Prismatic Flash, red card, Freeze Joker, red card again, or any combination of all three of his abilities are useful as a friend unit. The delay is useful, the Brave Battery is useful, the freeze is useful, the aura is useful. There's a lot of nice reasons to have Setzer as a friend unit. So if you really want a really super strong, mega busted character for Chaos and get ready for that, then Setzer's probably not going to be the character for you. But if you want somebody who's really useful as a friend unit, is going to be a massive quality... I like to think of him as a quality of life upgrade within the game because his farming capabilities are so fast, because he's such a good friend unit. And I've honestly just enjoyed using him since his 35 CP weapon came out. So this is a character that I'm actually quite excited for, regardless of the fact that he might be a bit slow on the uptake during Chaos. He's certainly not mandatory, but he's very useful to have. So when Setzer does get his EX Plus, which will be around the time of the Ultimate World of Illusions banner, which will see the return of Sarah, Vanille, and Setzer, so they'll all get their EX Plus at that point, his Prismatic Flash gets Bravery Overflow, which is fantastic because it doesn't actually have that at the moment, which, Brave Overflow is always going to be a great thing to have. He gets Brave Regen and higher critical damage off of the Blackjack buff, which is really useful for characters like Cloud, who get their critical damage quite quickly, and obviously all damage to a broken unit is critical damage, so critical Brave damage going up is really nice. He gets Blackjack and his buffs and his Brave Attack Plus at the beginning of the fight, which is lovely. His Brave Attack Plus Plus is just a much stronger version of itself, so it means that if you're lower on Bravery, his longevity is going to be really strong, a lot stronger, because one of Setzer's main issues is that he doesn't have a huge amount of skill uses, which is why his Prismatic Flash has such a good recast rate. And then he gets an even faster speed on his recast rate with Prismatic Flash, which is completely unnecessary in a way, but at the same time, it does make his longevity that much stronger, and it raises max Bravery Overflow, so it means he hits significantly harder. So having Setzer come around later with his EX Plus is going to be really nice to have, and honestly, But again, honestly, all of this is irrelevant in a way because the main reason you're pulling for Setzer is for that freeze, the delay, and the techie things that he brings to the table. So in terms of returning banners, Setzer's EX banner comes back, like I said earlier, with the Neil and Sarah, but the trouble with this banner is its placement. It comes out literally straight after Rosa and then Emperor, which is going to be a pretty harsh pulling spree for a lot of people because both of those characters are extremely good. So I would personally rather try and grab Setzer now so that I don't need him at this point. I mean, this is all from a personal standpoint. I actually already have Rosa, so I won't need to pull on that banner, but I'm having Emperor. There's no two ways about it. Like I said, Setzer's not a mandatory character. If you've already got Quistis, you've already got a really nice friend unit set up. You know, there are going to be other friend units that are just as good. Sync is a fantastic friend unit, certainly when she gets her EX Plus later down the line, but then that's quite a ways off. General Leo is also a very good friend unit. Setzer is definitely up there with those kinds of units, so if you want a really strong friend unit, then Setzer is a great choice. But as for like end-game content, there's very select places where he's useful, so bear that in mind before you decide whether to pull on him or not. Now, the Tomra Troopening Wielder have once again provided us with an infographic for Setzer, and it gives you kind of the list of all the things that he does. His party buffs and auras give a nice amount of attack, some max bravery, like a really nice amount of max bravery, speed up, and then it gives you all of the details and numbers of what you actually get from the various attacks that he has. And as it says when it comes to artifacts, he actually has an extremely low attack stat. So you realistically must get 3 attack 108 on Setzer if you're going to build him. It's very important because, especially with something like Red Card, something with like split brave HP attacks, you're definitely going to want as high an attack stat as you can get so that you can get the maximum efficiency out of something like that. Max Bravery is great. All in is really nice to have as well. Like they're both, like, you know, I agree with what's said here. They're both very nice to have, but you've got to get those attack 108. I'm actually farming them up right now because, you know, I plan to pull for Setzer, but I'll obviously talk about that in a second. And as it says here, his utility, there's no one quite like Setzer. No one has the freeze debuff, again, anything like what Setzer has. So you can't overlook a character with that unique and useful an ability. If you've got support characters that can make his HP attack plus really strong and his HP and his brave attack, then you're going to get a decent amount of longevity out of him as well, because you don't have to use the brave attack plus. You get the buff for 6 turns after you've used red card, and you get 6 uses of red card. So if you spread that out efficiently, then you'll actually get quite a lot of uses out of it. And then his HP attack plus is actually really useful, and pairing him up with other debuffers is really great. But like it says here, and as I just said, his ability use count is quite low, so you kind of want to make sure you get as much out of his brave and HP attack plus as you can, and you have to be careful using his brave attack plus if you want to not get broken for whatever reason. So pairing him up with a character like Warrior of Light is really nice, because then batteries protects him from getting broken. Setzer and Warrior of Light actually work very well together, so he's really good in the right situations is the best way I can think to put it. So what's my verdict on Setzer's banner? Do I think that Setzer is worth pulling for? Do I think that he's needed for future content? Yes, no, maybe? It's really quite difficult to tell. I'm going to pull for Setzer because I really enjoy his kit. I think it's very interesting. I love characters that have something unique about them that allows them to stand above the rest of the pack in a way that no other character can. But he's not mandatory for anyone, and with November, I know this month I've turned around and said multiple times that this is the month where we need to be saving as much as we can, because November is going to be an absolute pain when it comes to dropping resources. We're going to have Charlotta, we're going to have Artemisia, we're going to have EX pluses in general coming around, hopefully. So this month is quite an important month to save on, but we are using it on Ultimate Ramuh, and Ultimate Ramuh should give us a pretty fair whack of resources while we're at it. So there is that to bear in mind. I plan to probably drop tickets on Setzer. I'm not planning to pity him. If he doesn't come home to me, he doesn't come home to me, and I'm not going to cry about it. But I would really like him, basically. Out of characters that I need, he's not one of them. Of characters I would really, really like, he's one of those. So judge that accordingly based on how you would like to pull for him or not. And when it comes to Ramuh, by the way that I like to farm up treasures and summon points and stuff like that is to take a super synergy character. Like, I try and fit in as much as I can while the super synergy is available, but I try to take a super synergy character, a good character that I plan to use frequently, or a character I have the EX for or something like that, and a character to carry which will instantly get replaced by a friend unit. Then do that 3 times to get the 1800 points to get the treasures, move on to the next one. Keep doing that over and over and over again, and try and do that as much as you can within the time period that Ramuh was available. And then once you've done that for as much as you're willing to do it, go back and use your stronger parties just to absolutely wreck Ramuh. You know, Ramuh being a single target will make him slightly easier than Shiva, because you'll have access to Setzer's delay, Quistis's delay, any Vayne's break-unbreak mechanic. There's a lot of characters that are going to be really useful for Ramuh. Setzer obviously is one of the best ones for it, because he has a lot of mechanics that are designed to beat Ramuh, but just bear in mind that every Ultimate Summon has got something like that. Ifrit had, like, Quistis was really strong for Ifrit, Sarah was really strong for Vanille was very strong for Ifrit. Quistis was actually the best character for Ifrit. Vanille was the one that was designed to beat him, and then Sarah was the one designed to beat Shiva, so Setzer is obviously going to do very well against Ramuh as well. So if you want someone that's going to make it easier farming him up, then yeah, you could grab Setzer for that reason, but then you're spending resources to gain resources, so there is that as well. But then again, you get all of the character stats as well. So basically, I'm going to be pulling for Setzer. Whether you guys do or not is entirely up to you. I could sing to the moon and back about how much I love Setzer and why I really want to get him, but ultimately he's a really, really nice luxury item, not a mandatory pull for future content. So that's going to be it for this video. Forgive me for going too back and fro when I talk about whether to pull for Setzer or not, but that's because, much as I love him, I genuinely don't know whether other people will want to or not. Sound off in the comments below and let me know whether you plan to pull for Setzer or not, and if you don't, who you plan to use to clear Ramuh efficiently, and what your tactics for clearing summon boards efficiently and successfully in order to get the most out of them there is that you can do. So let me know and let everyone know your methods of farming those. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications, and check out all the social media links and all of that good stuff. So thank you ever so much for watching, and good luck to anyone who does pull on Setzer. I will be streaming tomorrow to pull for Setzer myself, so if you want to come and join in with that and pray for me for good luck, because I've actually been okay for recently, and I'm hoping that it doesn't go back to how it used to be, because it was really, really bad for quite a while. So we can pray and hope for Setzer. Anyways, that's going to be it from me. Thanks very much for joining, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.